On today's episode of Wrong Side, we check in with Michael as he wraps up his first week of work in Boston. We check in with the world powers and what has been going on in the globe lately. NBA Finals looks like it's wrapping up with the Pacers going down 3-2 to Oklahoma City. An NHL Stanley Cup champion has been crowned. The Florida Panthers are your champions. JJ Spaun is the champion of the U.S. Open at Oakmont, a weekend of rain, a great Father's Day weekend. We go through some of the golf drama there. Our clutch moment of the week brought to you by Shore Metals and Outside the Line. In a world full of champions, we find ourselves on the wrong side.
Welcome back, Wrong Siders. Today is June 18th. Thank you guys for listening. Another great episode coming out. We have a champion. We have a potential new NBA champion on the horizon. A new U.S. Open? That's what it was, right?
US Open, yep.
That's U.S. Open champion. And potentially you guys might be hearing this from beyond the grave. Let's hope not. But people were saying this week that... it was not even this week, today, that we could be in for a great surprise and one that we'll remember for centuries. So hopefully nothing bad has happened. Hopefully the world is still going okay by the time this is out.
If it's not, that would be my wrong side moment of the week, but let's hope that it is. So in other news, you are wrapping up your first, or really it's only day 2, not wrapping up, your first week of work in Boston. How's your commute? How are the people in the office? Is it different now that you're really down? I don't know how the Irvine office was, but is it much different from the Boston office? How was meeting everyone today?
Very, very different experience. 15-minute walk from the house to the office. Felt very big city living, felt like, potentially, I don't know how you got to work when you were still living in Wrigleyville, but I would assume you could walk, God forbid, maybe. Probably
been
not.
4 miles, but
oh, okay, never mind. Just kidding. You're going to take the train. But very New York City-esque. So many people walking on the streets this morning. People were bumping, quickly everyone was being aggressive. I was walking and I was trying not to look at my phone, for directions, on the walk. Didn't want to look like a tourist, but walk to the office today. Very easy. Office is very nice, massive office. Irvine was a 2-floor office. This is a 17-floor office.
okay.
Massive in size. Got lost trying to get water on my floor. Got stuck. It was like Severance, going around different tunnels. But other than that, really, really good day. First half of the day was a little awkward. I would compare it to transferring high schools. So you've only been in the same places. Even in college, you move college, but you can find a way to get in college, you can find a way to get in touch with people because you're all coming in at the same time. So everybody's new.
100%.
Every freshman is new. And then you kind of get into that awkward feeling. I feel when you're in rush, rushing a fraternity, rushing a sorority, we're okay, you're still new. People might know younger people, older people, but still everybody's new. It's very different when you're the only new person and everybody knows each other. So the morning was tough because I was saying hi, talked to a couple people from my team that I met. It was great. They were super nice, very welcoming, but during the day, conversations are going on, coffee runs. I was not really involved in a lot of that because I just wasn't like they don't know who I am. Like I'm just doing my thing.
Yeah.
Like, so it's, which is totally fine. Like totally okay. So, two people on my team invited me to eat lunch with them. That was really nice. And that was good. Didn't meet any of like the managers uppers today, but a lot of the younger people, seniors, associates, etc. People my level. The afternoon was a lot better. Like got to talk to people. I think it was kind of nice because I was kind of like around 2 or 3, kind of just like, okay, like it's kind of been a long day. Like, nervous, like everything. And then I actually had, since I'm finishing up my client in California, I actually had a call with like people on my team around them. So it was nice to like kind of get like a midday buffer of like, okay, like
Yeah.
it's gonna be okay. Like you didn't know these people last year, so like you're gonna be fine like in a little bit. So like that was good. Like got me back on the ground, very nice. And now we're on the ground rolling. Now we're going. Have to go back to California for 36 hours. That's a bad wrong side. But other than that, I'm back in Boston, and busy season is going to be heating up here in July.
All right. Okay. Sounds like a decent start. Day one, just getting your feet wet. I'm sure you'll get all settled in and integrated into the group soon. One thing about the office I'm always curious about, because I also have a big office. CDW has I think 10 floors in the building that we're in. They have
Yeah.
most of this big building. What's the badge scan situation? Because we have to scan to open practically every single door in the place.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay, so um, in the Irvine office, for example, you just walk into like the doors open, like the sliding automatic doors. You go up the elevator, and you get access to the, once you get to the floor of PwC, you just like scan in. Here, you have to like, it's almost like a subway. Like you have to like scan in when you
Yep.
get there, like an entrance,
The
and then that's like when
turnstiles.
you, like, yeah, like a turnstile when you walk in. It was super weird, and I didn't. That was the roughest part of the day. I didn't have access to that, so like I was gonna get blocked. But the badge I have, the PwC badge works at any office in the country. So like
Okay.
getting into an office, I wasn't worried, but like I was worried about like access around and getting on the building.
Hmm.
But they just like, they called up to the office, they approved it, like, okay, yeah, we'll set them up, and then I got my badge is like gonna be activated. But yeah, so you had to get scanned downstairs and then scan in to get into the office. But there's no like scanning in the bathrooms, other stuff like that. But I would assume, because at Irvine was like this, you had, if you go up and down after hours, which I think technically after hours is like 6, 7, you have to get like access for that. So I bet I would need to get access
Mm.
granted for like using the elevators to go up and down past 6 o'clock. That was like how our building was. Or like during busy season, for example, when I was working on the weekends, you needed like weekend access. Like that was another thing you had to like fill out.
Oh, I
So
have
yeah, but yeah.
not done after hours or weekend access, but we have the turnstiles because there's a couple other offices. You have to scan the
But what do
elevators.
those turnstiles do?
I don't know. I don't know. Then you have to scan before the elevators to go up to
Yeah, yeah,
go
you're
up to
supposed to
certain
do that. I
floors.
didn't. I didn't either because I didn't have the access.
And yeah, and then you have to scan at there's door, you get out of the elevator and then there's doors to the office sections and you have to scan those doors also.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that's the only door I scanned, like the one to get in the office. And this is a
No,
massive
you have to
building with a
scan
very
at each
fancy.
floor.
Oh,
It's a whole thing. It's a lot of scanning. It's
that's
a lot of
a lot of
scanning.
scanning. These are nice elevators, like a nice building too. When you scan in, you scan, you pick. It's a touchscreen. You pick which floor
Hmm.
you're going to. I picked 15 today, and it told you what elevator to go to.
Yep. Yeah, that's exact same thing.
It's very nice, very big time, a lot bigger than Irvine.
Well, welcome to the big leagues, kid.
Yeah, I work for the big leagues. But yeah,
Okay.
good day. Felt good.
Good stuff. Continuing to get settled in Boston. Over in the sports world, our sports are wrapping up. In a couple weeks here, we're going to be down to only baseball and NFL free agency news. I know NBA is always in the news, but at the moment, we still have some championship series going on. We'll start with the basketball. I was able to really sit down and watch the game the other day. Pacers go down 3-2. Off of a fantastic duo performance from SGA and Jalen Williams. SGA had 35 points, 10 assists. Jalen Williams 40 points and a few assists there. It was outstanding. It was great ball. This is the version of the Thunder when people talk about statistically them being one of the best teams ever. They're up there with the Bulls teams. They're up there with some of the great team championship teams statistically. This is the version of them that you think of. So they were great top to bottom. It was a close game still, so you can't say the Pacers really got blown out. Tyrese Halliburton seems to be battling a calf injury heading into games. What's coming up? 6, I guess it would be. But it was good ball. As this series, we're getting into game 6 and 7, you can kind of start to look back on it. It was great basketball, even though it was small markets. That was kind of the narrative going into it. I really enjoyed it. I think it kind of resets where the league should be headed in a really positive way. So I'm happy right now. How are you feeling?
Yeah, been a good series. Oklahoma City, you're right. That was the version of them that's dominated all season, where they've lost a couple games here and there in the playoffs, which is going to happen. You're going to run into great teams. But with this, that is the team they are. They are a great team. Saw a crazy stat. Lou Dort, fourth all time so far in 3-point percentage in an NBA final. Al Horford also number one in the 2021-2022 finals, which was
He's a
crazy.
killer. He's a killer, and I
He's a
don't get it.
killer.
I
But
hate Al Horford.
it's definitely an interesting spot the NBA is going to be put in, because I don't, like you said, yeah, like Shea is due for a big contract. The OKC is very young, but we mentioned it last week or 2 weeks ago that like they have so many picks. Like, what is this? This team could become like a massive dynasty. Like there is a good chance they become a massive dynasty if things line up the right way. And it doesn't look like OKC is going to be the trade partner for KD, like we said last week. But I don't know what's going to happen here. Like OKC has the potential to really, really, really dominate the league, and it's going to be a young league. And it's not like they're like, oh, there's Chet and SGA, and then it's like KD, LeBron, and Steph, like an old head team with like young players. Like these guys are all like, we kept saying, we've said it like months ago, like, or even last year when the pod just started. UNC last season was older, like almost as old as Oklahoma
Yeah.
City.
Yep.
Remember that? That was like right in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the podcast. So OKC's young. Indiana, I will say, give them credit. Halliburton has been great. I know he wasn't good the last couple games. I understand that, but he's really grown as a player. They're the best fourth quarter comeback team I think I've ever seen. They love to make it close in the matters when it matters most, which is great. But they always like love getting themselves in a 20-point hole. Other than that, Miles Turner, you're 7 feet tall. How do you not grab 12 rebounds a game? Hallie, he's got a calf strain. Hopefully, he's able to battle through it in game 6, at least make it interesting. It's not a blowout. TJ McConnell really, really stepped up in game 5, I thought. Really stepped up. It was a great game from him. Jalen Williams, 40 burger. Shea was great. I know you mentioned to me earlier off camera that basically Shea has 12 games, I think, of 30 and 5.
Yes.
And he's right up there with Michael Jordan, which is a crazy stat.
It was, he has now
but
12 games in a single playoff run of 35 points and 5 assists, I believe it was. 12 games in a single playoff run. That breaks the record that is tied by Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Both have done it multiple times throughout their careers, and Shea has beat them all. So it's crazy how these final stats are now looking like Jordan, LeBron, and SGA, like across the board.
Yes.
Say what you want about the foul baiting and everything, but he has proved it in a number of different ways. When they decided to pull away late in the game, it was led by, I think he had 3 or 4 steals in a row. He had a couple blocks and a couple huge shots, obviously, from him and Jalen Williams. So he can do it on both ends of the floor. I was of the belief heading into the season that he would regress. He just plays a lot of ISO ball, does a lot of dancing around. And obviously the free throws did help him this year. He won the MVP, but winning the MVP is anything but regressing. So he has done it. It looks like, and there are only 2 games left, so we could be eating our words here, but just the way the Thunder looked the other night is dominant. It is all time. So shout out that whole organization. Like we said, though, they have too many picks to trade at this point. So who knows where they go? They look to be set for years and years into the future.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm looking at it now because I was kind of curious. I mean, what do you think? Do you think Shea is the finals MVP right now? Yes, right?
I think he has to be, unless Jalen Williams comes back with another like 35 plus in the next game, I think it's got to be Shea.
Someone said, "What if someone accidentally votes for the wrong Jalen Williams and that messes up the vote?"
That would be really funny.
That was funny. But what I was gonna say was, I'm looking at it right now, 2024, 2023, 2022. It looks like 2022. No, I'm trying to find the last time we had an MVP and a Finals MVP.
Oh, I think that's one of those cursed awards.
I want to say it's yeah, because I know it's very Christian football. Like they never win the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
it is incredibly cursed in football.
2013. Let's look there. 2013, LeBron James, last Finals MVP and MVP in the same season. So very good chance that it could be Shea this year. Another stat: LeBron, MJ, Shea. So a very cool stat to check in on. Like we said, we could be eating our words, but at this point right now, I would be shocked if they don't win. I think they're minus 14,000 to win the series. Teams with win.
Yeah, it's insane.
Game 5 in series like that, just remarkable. So I think it's going to be them.
Wrapping up another good season of the NBA, and then the real season of the NBA begins, which is free agency. So we'll see what happens. Could be eating our words here over the next couple weeks. If the Pacers, they like to dig themselves a hole, so maybe they're perfectly comfortable at down 3-2.
Right. Maybe you're so right.
So we'll move on now over to the golf, the U.S. Open over Father's Day weekend. I know you probably weren't with your dad now that you're settled in Boston.
I was not, unfortunately.
Sad. Shout out Stan. He's the man. He'll help you out. We got to go golfing on Sunday, and I will say shout out the right side as being the only other boy in the family, because on Father's Day I get to hang out with my dad, and then the girls get to prep everything for the party. So we hung out with family. We got to go golfing. I rallied a little bit on the back nine, so that was fun. But I went with my dad, my uncle, and my cousin's husband to be this weekend at their wedding. So that was a fun time. But other golf happened. There was a major. Oakmont fought back. Spaun is your champion. Did you watch a lot of the golf? What'd you think?
Yeah, I actually did. It was kind of how I was like starting our days like this weekend, when it was like just like trying to like one more chill weekend before work picked up. But it was really, really good golf. Really good golf, I really thought. It was like it was kind of like good. It was bad. Is that like that? What do you think of that statement? Is kind of good? It was bad. Like
I think
not bad, but like good. It was like everyone was competing again. It wasn't Scotty like 4 strokes up the entire time. No one was even getting close. Like I wanted Scotty to win, obviously, but other than that, like Spaun, shot of the life, 2 shot. They called like 2. They said they wasted the shot of the lifetime call on 17 when he got that shot to get to the fairway, because his real shot of a lifetime was on 18. But Spaun, huge win at the U.S. Open. He's going to be on the Ryder Cup team. As of right now, he's on the Ryder Cup team. Truly remarkable. He jumped 10 spots to make the team right now with one big win like that. Pretty remarkable. Incredible putt. Was not an easy course. Every person struggled. No. And I think on a Sunday like that, he was struggling bad. He did not have a great Sunday. I think he finished even. I think I saw potentially he was the first player to shoot a 40 on the front 9 on their last round since 2003 and win. Wow. So crazy stat there. But Spaun wins. Very good golf. Rough night for Scotty at times. Rough greens. I felt like every time I turned it on, though, I don't know about you, I felt like I was watching the church. I felt like every time I turned it on, the church pews were on my TV. That one bunker. Yeah. Like every time I felt like that one and the piano and the shot. Spaun actually on Sunday on 2 to start the day. I don't know if you saw this one. Gorgeous shot. But if it just lands like half an inch to the left or right, it misses the flagpole and probably just backspins just a little in like near.
Yep.
It hits the flagpole. I saw
this one. This was the craziest
all the
thing
way
I've
down.
Ever seen.
And then that he double bogeyed that hole, and out. Everyone was like, "Well, he's dead." So like, good luck. But great weekend of golf, I thought.
Yeah, it was great. The course that was getting hyped up all week about how difficult it was going to be. It kind of went back and forth. There were people at like -4, -5 through Thursday and Friday, and then the weather came in for the
Right.
weekend. So pros and cons of it getting so difficult there. Like I talked about it later in the wrong side, but some of the water, like it was it was a little too tough in my opinion. Like yes, you want to see these guys struggle, but maybe in different ways, but maybe I also just prefer to see the sun on my TV. You're used to the Masters with the flowers, and the rain kind of takes away from the vibe. So it was fun golf. That 65-foot putt by JJ Spaun to really win it on 18 was the longest putt made by any player of the weekend. So that's absolutely
Wow.
insane. What a time to get hot. So for the Ryder Cup, you definitely want all your hottest guys
Yeah, yeah,
on that
absolutely.
team.
Agreed.
So a new major
And
champion. He had not been
and
close
he and he
before.
just he just missed out at the Players. Rory, like the playoff on the second one, he gets
Mm.
second place. Rory wins, and just kind of outside of the like actual golf, the drama around the weekend. Wyndham Clark breaking two lockers, who I hear he's in suspension now, or like in the mix of being suspended. Rory finally talks to the media, said he's not interested in anything. Who knows what his future of golf leads?
Rory's such a
Shane Lowry's
diva.
Shane Lowry's breaking things on the course. Rory's breaking things on the course. People are cussing. Even Scotty let out a gosh dang it, like a loud gosh dang it on the course. And Mike caught him. Not one to cuss. I know that's not like a cuss word, but like you heard it loud. It was beating people mentally. And that's where I think like even JJ Spawn, like with that putt, like it, to win a mental weekend like that is even better. Like you could really set yourself up for success with a mental weekend like that.
100%. So it'll be interesting once that comes out from Netflix. Um,
Yes. Full swing next year, yes.
yeah. So good golf there. It was great to see them really compete like that. My favorite part of the weekend was on late on Sunday, when the scoreboard was like a couple guys at even, like four guys at +1, three guys at +2. Like there could have been a
Yeah.
7-man playoff at one
Yeah.
point, and I was all over that. Um,
McIntyre cheering in the locker room, like slamming his fist together. So funny.
oh, I would be exactly the same way. So I was dying.
Yeah. Very good. Very good weekend of golf. And now, at the time this is about to be released, we're recording. Uh, we have a new, not new even, we have a repeat Stanley Cup champion, Florida
Florida
Panthers.
Panthers.
They beat Edmonton again. Oh, what? Why'd you give me that face?
Because we said Florida Panthers at exactly the same time.
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, incredible series. Should we start the narrative that not only is Connor McDavid not able to win the big one, should we start a narrative that Edmonton should blow it up?
I think we should. Um, is the Conn Smythe Award winner out? The Finals MVP for hockey.
Sam Bennett. It is
Okay.
announced.
I was somehow hoping there was a backdoor Brad Marchand at 37 years old winning
I
the
think there was a chance. There was a big
Stanley Cup
chance.
MVP. There was a chance there, but Edmonton. Sports goes through phases. Like teams are built to beat other teams. Michigan, Ohio State, the Warriors in basketball. There are teams that change the game, and other teams in the league have to adapt. Florida, repeat Stanley Cup champions. Tampa Bay, a couple of years before, are teams that have changed the game. So maybe the Oilers should blow it up. I don't know McDavid's contract situation. I know Florida has a lot of guys on team-friendly deals. But you have Connor McDavid, who has come into the Stanley Cup Finals in the last 2 years with outstanding playoff performances. I believe last year he had set a record for most points in a playoff heading into the Stanley Cup Finals. And he comes up short in the finals yet again against the same team. They are in his head. And if you're Edmonton, if you truly care about the light at the end of the tunnel and getting to that Stanley Cup, you see that this may be an immovable object in your path, this Florida Panthers team.
Yeah.
So readjust, blow it up
Trade
before
him to
things
Florida?
trade him to Florida, blow it up before things get ugly. Maybe he is the kryptonite that they need. But it was a great series. Like we said, those are the two best teams in the league. And Connor McDavid comes up short again. I don't think the narrative is inappropriate talking about how he can't win the big one because he looks great in every situation except for the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking today. He had 7 points in the finals, 6 were assists. So wasn't scoring as much. I know he is a great passer, and Gretzky said even this past week that he's like, I think he's better than I was at this age. I think he's a better player, but he needs to win. He needs to push his team to get there, and we don't know if we're going to see it. We don't even know the next time we might ever see it. You never know in these kind of situations. He is still young. I will say about the Stanley Cup, they're the first team to go back-to-back in professional sports since the Las Vegas Aces, and the first team in hockey since the Tampa Bay Lightning. But I saw this one right before we recorded. Stanley Cups won since 1994. State of Florida 5, country of Canada 0. So that's a good one. And then Sam Bennett, about his Conn Smythe Trophy, he had led the NHL with 15 goals this season, and along with that, 13 of them were on the road, an NHL record for most goals scored on the road.
That is
But
awesome.
incredible stat, great series. Who knows? The PMT guys are going to be happy. Ryan Whitney is sad. But this is a great hockey team. Like they have a chance to, again, like keep building it. A lot of people counted them out. The Brad Marchand trade at the deadline. People were kind of mixed feelings on it, but I was also hoping there was a backdoor to him winning the trophy as well. But not going to happen. That's okay. But a great series as well. Champions, Panthers, back-to-back champions. Oilers, back-to-back losers. Don't forget that part. A lot of people are going to say back-to-back champions. Don't forget Oilers, back-to-back losers.
That's almost bigger. I think it's not crazy even looking ahead to next year to say this could happen again. Like these are two fantastic teams. A three-peat loser would be the stuff of legends. But if you look at it, maybe this is our age showing.
Bills.
But it's the Bills. I was thinking about it. Maybe this is our age showing, but suddenly golf and hockey are a lot more interesting, right?
Yes.
I kind of love it. I'm very in on it.
Yeah, no, it's good. And I wish I was, I was stubborn golf-wise towards the end of summer. Like I was like, okay, I'll get it. Or not even end of summer, end of like living at home. And I got into it because it wasn't good. And now I do like watching it. Like I do like it's total like maybe it was like they say like you get smarter, like your frontal lobe develops. Maybe that's like sport version too. Maybe that's for sports too.
Interesting.
So just a thought. But yeah, great series. By this time next week, we will guaranteed have an NBA champion. We have an NHL champion. We have a US Open champion. Fun stuff coming. Baseball summer. I know Joey's favorite time. But we're going to do a quick ad read, kick it to our clutch moment of the week, sponsored by Shore Metals. Again.
Oh. All right. What? I hope we wake up tomorrow and they say they stopped a nuke.
Someone like it was like Trump. I shot it down myself. How funny would that be? Are we funny at all or no?
I can't really hear you.
Dude, hold on, sorry. Our dryer fucking sucks. Our dryer fucking sucks.
Ours kind of sucks too.
Like we have to do like a load of laundry. We have to do like 3 loads to like dry it.
Ew.
So now I'm like drying it again, and I'm like throwing another load in. Like it's just so ridiculous.
Again.
All right, let's edit this bitch. Hopefully we're good now. Now, time for our clutch moment of the week, sponsored by Shore Metals, serving Southern California since 1970. Big enough to serve you and small enough to know you. See Stan, he'll help you out.
Joey, what's your clutch moment of the week?
My clutch moment of the week actually goes out to a story from back around 2014, but I've just become aware of this story, so I'm hoping to educate the listeners. Gucci Mane's then girlfriend, now wife, I'm going to butcher this, Keisha Kaori. A lot of the
Not bad.
time,
Sounds good. Sounds good.
sounds great. Gucci Mane was headed to prison in 2014, and as a loving man does, he gave his girlfriend $2 million before he was about to head into the slammer. And you'd think usually this story would end in disaster. Rapper throwing money around, like, typically does not end well. But no, she actually invested in a cosmetic line, turned $2 million into $6 million, and paid him back the $2 million
Wow.
when she got out. They then got married and are still married to this day. Right side goes to Gucci Mane's wife, Keisha Kaori, or I'm sorry for saying your name wrong. That's my clutch moment.
Love that. That's a great clutch moment. The reversal of, like, maybe not reversal, but similar. It's like the grown up maybe version, criminal version, grown up version of paying your parents rent at 18, but they give it to you at like 22, and you're like, here you go. Like, we've been saving this money, you've been paying us for like a down payment of a house, which I've never understood in modern times. I understood it in the past because there's no way, even if parents were charging you like 2 grand for a couple years, like, first of all, that would suck, paying 2 grand to live in your own house. But there's no way like that would be enough for like a down payment on a house unless you're in like Iowa these days. So, but actually, a really good story. Like, you don't really hear that or like seeing
Yeah.
that far ahead. And props to her for actually investing the money and not just being, okay, like, that's great. I have $2 million. Like, this is how I'm going to live my life for the next couple of years while he's in prison. Great story. Great story. A welcome home story.
Yes, sir. You often see the reverse of it. Now, I was unaware of this story when it happened, so I had to shout it out. So that was good vibes.
Did it just like get back in the news cycle, or like did he just get out? I don't know Gucci Mane's prison sentence.
Well,
So.
here's how really it happened. I woke up this morning, stretched a little bit, had my coffee, sat down for work. A few minutes later, the coffee kicked in. Went to the bathroom.
Had to scroll.
Instagram Reels blessed me with this story, so I have no idea, but it was a blessing of Instagram Reels.
I love that. I love that. That's sometimes how, I always say that you get your most efficient work done in the bathroom, and your most.
Do you keep a pad of paper in there? You seem like the kind of guy who would.
No, but that's a great idea. That's a great idea. That seems like a George Costanza move. But that is a good idea. Maybe I'll keep that. I don't know how I'll explain that to Meg, but maybe I'll do it with one of like the dangling pens too, so you can just like hang it back up after.
Great call.
So it doesn't fall into the toilet. But that's a good one. Good clutch moment. My clutch moment actually happened today. Men's College Baseball World Series is going on right now. Some great baseball going on in Omaha. Murray State was the Cinderella story to make it there. They lost game one, found themselves in a double elimination game today against Arkansas. Arkansas and LSU played game one of the first round. Brutal draw for both of those teams, two top 10 teams that just got a brutal draw to start the tournament. But story of the week, my clutch moment, came from that game. Arkansas starting pitcher Gage Wood, no-hitter against Murray State in the College World Series. I think it was the third no-hitter of all time in the College World Series. Not only was it a no-hitter, it is always very impressive to throw one, considering they're so rare, but 19 strikeouts, which is one away from the MLB record. The MLB record is 20. A couple times, I think Scherzer's done it once. Kerry Wood did it on the Cubs years ago. But 19, an incredible outing. Looking at it now, I want to say he only had, that's what I thought. 0 walks, no hit by pitches, very efficient. 119 pitches, which I know college coaches don't usually do that, except for now. But incredible outing, 19 Ks, 0 walks, 9 innings, shutout, no-hit baseball. Gage Wood, clutch moment of the week. Some great college baseball on, if you're interested in watching too.
Arkansas's a wagon. They've been a wagon all year. Did you say this was in Murray Hill's double elimination game? They got
Murray State. They're going home on Murray State on a no-hitter.
That's a brutal draw. You're a Cinderella story. I mean, Arkansas is a tough draw to begin with, but 19 strikeouts is just inhuman. So that I was watching it earlier. That was absolutely insane.
Yeah, no, great outing. Very excited to see what happens. Baseball's going on right now while we're recording this. Let's see. It's in a delay. I'm sorry. It's a rain delay. LSU's up 5-3 currently on UCLA. Arkansas won today. They're going to play the winner of that game tonight and see who they play in the double elimination game. So very exciting. Some great baseball going on. Omaha, always a fun time.
Yes, sir. Now we will kick it back to ourselves for Outside the Line. Let's wrap it up with Outside the Line, starting off with the Tone Deaf Person of the Week. Michael, who do you got?
Tone deaf person of this week, it's going to be franchises who make franchise altering trades for the worst. Two big trades, different scales, I'd say, but two massive hauls. One massive haul, one what the hell just happened. First trade goes out to the local team, the Boston Red Sox. Maybe it's me, the baseball mush, burning down franchises. I go to visit them. But the Red Sox, breaking news Sunday night, Rafael Devers, star third baseman, $300 million contract, traded to the Giants for pitcher Jordan Hicks, pitcher Kyle Harrison, and two prospects, James Tibbs and Jose Bello. Pretty wild trade. Couple reasons, I thought. First off, Devers, they didn't give him an option, obviously, to trade. Don't know if shocked he doesn't have a no trade clause, first of all. Shocked.
Yeah.
Usually anybody with like $300 million contracts, no trade clauses. So that's first off. Second off, Red Sox felt like a rushed move. Didn't feel like they really thought about it, what they were going to get for it. I don't know. Didn't love the return, obviously. Is like a pretty in-depth baseball fan. Felt like they got kind of fleeced. The only pro of this contract from the Red Sox side, in my opinion, is they got his entire contract off the books. I think that's a massive win financially because sometimes those contracts, if you're a bad franchise, similar to like the Angels, if you are a franchise like the Angels who burdens themselves with a $250 million contract, a $400 million contract, you really can't do much with the salary, with like not the salary cap, but owners don't like spending more than that. They have two players worth $40 million. They don't want to do it. So I've always said if you trade big stars, like if they can take even 75% of it, it's a win, no matter the return. But this was a shock because it was pretty short into his big contract, and they didn't get the best return. So I guess financially they could be excited, but other than that, not a lot of pros, I think. Go ahead.
I didn't get it at all. I mean, not like that I'm following every team in Major League Baseball, but to trade him as their star third baseman, I'm pretty sure the Giants already have like I would say like third base for the Cubs has been vacant for like really since like Chris Bryant. They haven't had like an everyday starter there who has been great. My understanding is a couple things. One, the Giants already have a third baseman. Two, financials are obviously very important when it comes to sports, but the ownership group, I forget who owns the Red Sox or which ownership group it is.
John Ryan.
Just spent hundreds of millions of dollars signing a player to their Liverpool team in Europe.
Fenway Group. Yep, I got on that conspiracy as well.
And then the whole thing with Devers, like, again, I'm not very familiar with the player. Like, he was going to play third base. They wanted him to play somewhere else. He said no. It seems like he kind of got the short end of the stick in his time in Boston. So is this just it didn't work out, let's get rid of this as soon as possible? There is pretty much no reason that this makes any sort of sense.
I think there's a couple ways to look at it. So, yes, he played third base for the Red Sox, Rafael Devers. He DH'd as well when he didn't play the infield on days off. But this offseason, they signed Alex Bregman to a 3-year deal. Pretty sure he has a player option after this year. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure he does. So they signed Bregman. Then they're like, well, we can't have two third basemen. And in spring training, they asked Devers, like, are you going to DH? You're going to play first? And he said, no, I play third base. I play third base. Okay.
Obviously, which was taken out of context, I believe. I think
in a sense, but they asked him, will you play first? Will you DH? He said, no, I play third. That was a direct quote. The way it was constructed by the media was the wrong context. I agree. But he did say, no, I play third. He did. So there's that part. But that being said, he was supposed to play third base. They signed a third baseman. Okay, issue. Now he's not going to play. He didn't want to play. The problem, I'd say, situation at hand was that he wasn't a better third baseman than Bregman. Bregman was a
Mhm.
better third baseman. He was a better defensive third baseman. Bregman is a great hitter. You were probably getting a little less bat, but you were getting a better defensive third baseman. From the Red Sox side, it's tough. It's almost obviously these two players, Bregman and Devers. I'm not putting them anywhere near the same scale as Jeter and A-Rod, but when the Yankees traded for A-Rod, that was a big conversation that they both played shortstop. What are they going to do? A-Rod, and obviously we've all heard the stories that they weren't best friends, but they found a way to win together. They found a way to play together, and Jeter played shortstop and A-Rod played third, and people have their opinions on that. But both of them were like, hey, we're on a great team. We're both good players. Let's find a way to win. And I don't think that part ever came with Devers after Bregman. There was never like okay, teach me to play first base. Okay, I'm okay DHing. Like there was that kind of part of it where I think was an issue. On the Giants side of things, you're right. They do have a good third baseman. They have Matt Chapman, who's only going to be out for the month of June. So after June, I wonder what's going to happen because he plays third. That's what he said. But today, Buster Posey, who's their GM now, came out and said that he's willing to play first base. He's willing to DH. He's kind of things he wasn't saying. So maybe there was more of a crack in the relationship than everybody had heard. You just heard like, oh, they're just like internal fighting. Maybe it was worse than people thought. It's big for the Giants. The Giants have struck out on a lot of big name players, Corbin Burns, Aaron Judge, Carlos Correa, Shohei, Soto. They have not been able to get their star. They now have their stars. Devers going to be their star. He's going to play for the Giants. It's not the best hitter-friendly park, I'll say that. So that's kind of interesting for his at-bats. But it's a big trade. Very interesting. Shocked the baseball world. Already had some coworkers and I talking about it today. They weren't happy. And the Boston fans are so fucking spoiled. I was talking to one. He's like, oh, man, we might as well be the Angels since 2018. I'm like, hold on a second. Like 2018.
That is brutal.
I'm meeting this guy tomorrow. And I told him, I was like, one thing you'll learn about me is I will always defend how bad the Angels are. And I was like, your last appearance in the playoffs was an ALCS appearance. Your last appearance before that was a World Series. Like, we don't have a playoff win for 16 years. So I'm telling you, it could be a lot worse. Like, you guys are so blinded and like, oh, a couple bad Patriots seasons and like, oh, we just traded Marchand. Like, their lives are over. So like, they got to come back down to earth.
It's pretty hard to feel bad for Boston sports fans in general, but this
very hard.
It seems weird. Like, we've seen Nico Harrison, a number of GMs and front offices make some questionable decisions, and this seems like not quite as bad as the Luka thing, but it's up there. So crazy.
It's not as bad in terms of like, I don't know. Like, you could argue it's as bad because like at least Luka, like obviously like people have their opinions on AD, but like you still got an all defensive player. Like you had a guy who's finished top 5 at MVP. Like you got a first round pick. You got Max Christie, who's a good role player. Like, yeah, you're right. It's bad because you traded Luka away, but like in the grand scheme of things, they got like dominant players that like are good players. Like AD's a dominant player when he's on the court. The Giants got one pitcher in this deal that is a prospect that's been in the big leagues. They sent him down to AAA last night.
Yeah.
So,
the lack of return was insane.
Lack of return was very bad, but so that was my one part of the franchise. The other one, Grizzlies and the Magic. I have that one pulled up as well. Let me get that right here. An incredible fleece job, I think, by Memphis. Desmond Bain, he's a great 3-and-D player. Great 3-and-D player.
Short arms. Big biceps. Short arms.
Yep. Big biceps, short arms. Gets traded to the Magic for KCP, Cole Anthony, 4 unprotected first-round picks, and 1 first-round pick swap. The Lakers, the Sixers, they all spent their times in the 2015-ish times where they were protecting top 3. They were protecting top 6. They were doing all of those. But this is unprotected for Desmond Bain. That's a big move. I don't know if Memphis is open for business. I read today they aren't, but crazy move, a very dumb move, I think, by the Magic. I don't think he's a great player. I actually am a big Desmond Bain fan. I think he plays great defense. He's been great in fantasy basketball because he gets a ton of steals. But I just don't know if I love that move for like, that's who you're bringing in for Paolo as his help. Like, Desmond Bain, like that's who it is. So like,
I think there's a decent fit. Like he has a decent fit with the team. Like he seems like a guy who does the right things, kind of does the dirty work. The Magic are a young team. They've been in the playoffs, I think, back-to-back years if they weren't like
Yep.
contending for the play-in the year before. So maybe this is a guy, he's been around a little longer. He's been in some playoff series. The Grizzlies are probably in one of the not great positions in the NBA just due to how much money. I don't know how much money Desmond Bane is on right now. Ja Morant is, if he's not getting paid a lot of money, is definitely due a lot of money in the near future. They have a couple, Jaren Jackson, Zach Edey had a good year for him. So there's money due, and they're at a position not unlike the Bulls. I'd say they're a better team than the Bulls, but they're a bottom playoff Western Conference team. So
they are.
You got to kind of do something to blow it up. 4 first-round picks. It's a good fleece job by the Grizzlies. So
yeah,
I think
I agree.
It could be a win-win.
It's great for the Grizzlies. Great, but we'll see how it does for the Magic. But yeah, tone deaf. I know we kind of talked a little longer on that, but tone deaf was bad franchises.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got derailed a little bit.
We were in depth on why
bad.
It was bad, but 2 bad franchise trades. But that's
all franchises are bad. You think general managers are smart until they do stuff like this. And it's like I very easily could be a general manager of a professional team.
Right.
My tone deaf moment person of the week is another very old man take. So I've now moved back to the suburbs. I'm domesticated. I'm taking trips down memory lane. I'm right down the street, like 20 minutes away from my parents. It's all the stuff I grew up doing. I'm hanging out at the same places. And when I was young, I don't know about you. I have been to your house. You haven't been to mine. I would ride my bike all over town. We'd ride our bikes to neighboring towns. We'd ride our bikes probably way too far that our parents didn't like it. Now, what I started noticing around the suburbs is groups of kids riding around on electric bikes and electric scooters. I hate it. You see the bird scooters. They're great on college campuses. That makes a lot of sense. It's fun. My old man take is if you can't drive a car, you shouldn't have an electric scooter. That's my tone deaf of the week.
I like that take. There are a ton of electric scooters, a ton of electric bikes these days. They're massive around the beaches. Like the beaches are electric bike city back home. But no, it's a good take. Because
kids these days.
I was not a big biker on my house or near my house because it's a hill, so I'd have to go down and then I would ride around. But I because it was just a really steep hill to get up to my house.
It's a big hill.
But once my dad would drive us to the bottom, or I would just like walk it down, we would ride them. So like, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a regular. Mine was a blue Schwinn, I think is what I had.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so kids these days, man, they're the TikTok. The TikTok is ruining us, and bikes. I'm an old man.
Love it. That's a good take. Okay, right side, wrong side. Wrap it up.
Right side. So in my family, I'm one of the older cousins. My right side is my cousin's wedding is this weekend. My cousin Rose is getting married to her longtime boyfriend. His name is Sonny. He works for ESPN Chicago and has actually given me some really good advice on wrong side. So shout out them. Golfed with them on Sunday golfed with Sonny on Father's Day. It's going to be awesome. Like all the cousins are at a great age for there to be a wedding. We're all in like the 21 to like 28-year-old range. And we in our, like, I haven't been to that many weddings. I was at our buddy Trey's last year and like haven't had many family weddings. So right side wedding this weekend is going to be awesome. And then I'm heading up to the Great White North the following week. I'm going up to Canada. So a lot of fun stuff going up there. And then wrong side, I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but the golf, the U.S. Open, the weather came in this weekend pretty tough, affected a lot of players' shots. The long rough got tougher. Luckily, the green slowed down kind of just a little bit, but Sam Burns got caught with the wrong side moment of the week. He was in a little valley hitting. I forget what hole it was, but he was leading at the time. I think
15,
he was at about
15.
15. I think he was at -2 at the time, tied for the lead, or maybe holding it outright. But asked for a ruling on if there was too much water on the fairway. You could see the puddle of, like, it was squishy.
I saw the picture. I wasn't watching it live, but I saw that picture.
There was a video too that came out, and it was like it was in standing water. He hit a terrible shot off of it, ended the hole with a double bogey, and lost the lead. Everyone is pretty much in agreement online, which is very rare these days, that he should have been given relief for that. And it was a great U.S. Open. The scoreboard was crazy. We talked about it a little earlier, but the wrong side moment of the week went out to Sam Burns.
That was wrong. We did talk about it earlier, like crazy weekend. Like it was good. It was almost good that the golf was like tough, bad. kind of shocking how like Scotty played. I saw he was the biggest. I think we mentioned it earlier, but like he was the biggest favorite in a
Yeah.
tournament like since Tiger, like old Tiger. And maybe my right side, or maybe clutch moment was the rain delay, just immediately going to Tiger highlights. Like that's just what a great
That was
producer.
oh, yeah.
What a great producer. Just like break in case of emergency, Tiger highlights. So that was great. But yeah, no, Sam Burns, and he really struggled after that. I think he may have double bogeyed that hole, and then just like
He did double bogey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really
I
bad.
would be pissed. I would have got arrested after
Yeah.
that. It was bad.
Yeah. It's a tough one. But for me, wrapping up quickly, right side, wrong side. Wrong side, 2 weeks off, vacation over, back at work. Been a long day working. Got up early, obviously, for regular work and still working late because my California clients. So it's been a long, long day of work and just catching up on emails and catching up on the items and what's come in the last 2 weeks and just getting back on track. I feel like the first 2 days are like always getting back on track. And then like by Wednesday, you're like, okay, finally I'm back. Like I'm back to normal. Like I can kind of like stop treading water. So that was a long day, very long day, but first day working here, first day for mag orientation. That was great. And then for right side, with all the animosity, all the negativity in this country, there's been a lot of bad things. But there's one thing that's on the right side that will help bring all Americans together less than a month from today. July 4th, Coney Island, the GOAT, Joey Jaws Chestnut, returning to the Nathan's Hot Dog Contest. Big news.
Let's go.
1 year absence after last year's contract disputes with sponsors and the plant-based food. But he's back this year. Don't know the shape he's in. No, he's been competing in some small MLE tournaments, but I wonder what his line is at. I don't know what the line will be at, but Major League Eating. But yeah, I'm excited. I love it. Can't wait. I won't be able to this year, but maybe next year I go out to Coney Island. It's a Saturday. Maybe go out next year.
Ooh, it is a Saturday. Got to start planning ahead for the Saturday next year.
Yeah.
The GOAT is back. That is fantastic, and America is saved. It felt empty last year, and it's truly felt empty since he was out for the contract dispute. So incredibly right side. Incredibly right side. Great news on this Monday. Long Monday. It was great to get at that as soon as I woke up this morning. Start your day on a high note with a long day coming. But another great episode. Thank you guys for listening. Great episode. This time next week, we will have, I take it back because we're recording the beginning. At the end, we might have a hockey champion, but this time next week, we will have an NBA champion no matter what. But very exciting. Another good episode. Thank you guys for listening. Happy Wrong Side Wednesday. Stay blessed.